Hello everyone, this is WarNotGamer4 here with another challenge run video, and it's not just any challenge, it's using the melee component of a glintstone staff challenge. So the objective is to bonk our way to victory. As for the rules of the challenge run, the run truly starts when I get my glintstone staff, no Ash of War on the staff for maximum suffering. The staffs that I plan to use can't even have an Ash of War attached to it. Status effects are allowed, but not that really matters because they almost never proc. And glitches are allowed depending on my level of suffering. It's a staff melee challenge run. Give me some slack. At least for my mental health, please. Also, please note that this run was recorded on June 5 to June 15th, to give a time frame of when this run was recorded. So anyway, let's get started. We name ourselves John Elden Ring V, Golden Seed for our bonus. Now that we started the game, we go to the intro boss, and just fall off the cliff because it's faster than letting the boss actually damage me. We meet Vare, then kick him for some good luck. Then we quickly get our means of transportation, get our bell from Ronnie as a just in case backup that I'll never use, say hi to Alexander and Dee because they're on the way, get our wondrous Physic Flask, reach Fort Height to get our first half of the Dectus Medallion. Then we go to Dragon Barrow in Caelid to reach Fort Pharos so we can get the second half of the medallion. And also get the Radagon Sword Seal just in case I need it. I was also able to avoid the rats this time and climb the ladder without dying, only to die a little bit later by a bat screech. Anyway, now we head around Stormveil Castle to reach the Liurnia of the Lakes, and take a quick warp at the ruins to the Academy Gate. From here we jump off to the side and quickly get the glintstone key. Then hug the wall of the Academy to reach the Academy Crystal Caves, and after traversing the dangerous part of the cave, we open up an illusionary wall, sneak past the enemy that's guarding the chest and get our glintstone staff, with what I believe is the second highest physical damage rating for all the glintstone staffs, but we can't properly wield the crystal staff just yet, so off we go to get upgrade materials. So let's go through the magical gates, up the lift to reach Altus Plateau, discover a few graces here and there, but before we continue, we go back to the lake to help an NPC get back her pendant with the power of money. And now we have access to boiled prawns and an invitation to Volcano Manor. From the lift we meet Raya, and through the power of teleportation we are now at Volcano Manor. From here we get our key for the area, but we still have to go to scale the mountain to get the Somber 6 smithing stone that we need. And now with the Somber 6 in our inventory, we just jump to the side of Prison Town and roll through the lava. Sneak past the snake and go up the cage elevator. Get the Somber 5 smithing stone that's in front of us. Bring up the shortcut bridge. Fail the manor jump a few times but eventually make it to secure the Somber 7 smithing stone that's on the ledge. Please note that this jump skip appears to be patched in update 1.05. Now off we go to Dragon Barrow to find the loot scarab and push it off the cliff so we can get the Somber 8 smithing stone, and then jump down the roots to get the Somber 9 smithing stone. Now that we have our means to upgrade the weapon of our choice, we go to EG, farm the ball at Caelid for some runes, and buy the last remaining smithing stones that we don't have, and with our staff upgraded to +9, we level up our intelligence up to 28, and get the intelligence not crystal tier that is close by to boost the staff's damage up. With all that done, now I go farm the rolling ball for a while to level up our intelligence to 48 so the staff's physical value goes up. Also go out to get golden seeds and sacred tears to enhance our healing flask. Now we warp to the grace that is near Alexander to jump down the spring, and sticking to the left wall, we reach High Road Cave. From here we traverse the area by parkouring over fallen pillars. To reach the giant Golem boss. Guardian Golem wasn't much of a problem in the fight, luckily. Just staying by the legs without locking on. Let me read its attacks so I can dodge them. And with Golem defeated, we get the Blue Dancer's Talisman. Fight duration was about 5 minutes and 35 seconds. Bonk amount was 63. Amount of deaths, only 2. Total time with attempts, about 14 minutes. With our first talisman obtained, we now deal with an NPC invader by despawning him. I honestly didn't know this was possible. You just continue moving forward and it eventually just despawns the NPCs. Now it's time for patches. And after bonking his shiny head for about 2 minutes, we buy Margit's shackle from him at Volcano Manor. We still need more damage, so we go into the Sage's Cave, run through the darkness that is filled with a bunch of spooky skeletons, go through an illusionary wall, and get an armor piece that increases our jumping attack damage. While I usually do these challenge runs pretty much naked, I need the bonus damage. And after farming the rolling ball for a while again, I level up Vigor to increase our survivability. We now fight Mr. Anti-Ambition Margit. With the shackle we get a few good hits in, and usually the best time to attack him is after he finishes an attack chain. Or whenever he does a slam. For our reward, we got our second talisman slot. Fight duration was about 24 minutes and 22 seconds. Bonk amount, 84. Deaths was luckily at 0. And total time with attempts, about 24 minutes. Then we proceed to sneak around the side of Stormveil Castle. Get locked into a room with an annoying knight. Quickly grab the key and attempt an escape. But with our escape lock, we quickly dispose of the knight. And move over to the roofs, where we can jump over and make our way to the top of a broken pillar to follow the path to a ladder and an ambush, and make our way up the ladder to get the claw talisman to increase our jump attack damage. Now back on the roof, we jump down to the courtyard, quickly get the grace that's on the other side, get some cracked pots for later use, level up quickly, and now we face Godrick. Most of Godrick's slower attacks are punishable, so we use that to our advantage. We can also jump over the slam AoE he does for a free hit. And when we reach phase 2, we just run up to him and attack. And when he spews fire from above, we just punish him. And Godfrey goes down. Fight duration was about 17 minutes and 7 seconds. Bonk amount was 102. All of this was in one attempt, so 0 deaths. And total time with attempts was about 15 minutes. Holy moly, these bosses take so long to fight. And because of that, I'm going to farm for a staff that does bleed. And the best place I found to farm for them was at the bottom of Mount Gilmer. And this singular Thornfire Sorcerer, after 25 minutes, gives us the Staff of the Guilty, or by its more accurate name, the Marshmallow on a Stick Staff. It provides a small 45 to bleed, but we're gonna use it a bit later and not right now. For now, we just level up a bit and make our way to the academy. And just look at the staff. It actually looks like a marshmallow on a stick. After we get welcomed by the resident nerds of the academy, I get sucked real hard in the graveyard, nearly losing all my blue juice and health. And after that experience, we now face off against the Red Wolf of Radagon. When it comes to Red Wolf, the biggest thing to look out for is when it tries to attack at the same time as its delayed spell attack. Also, its slam attack and snout uppercut are punishable. Good thing this boss doesn't have a lot of health. Fight duration was 10 minutes and 33 seconds. Bonk amount was at 44. Died only one time to this boss. And total time with attempts was about 13 minutes. Now that we triumphed over Red Wolf, we calmly run through the trapped bridge. Sneak behind the Carrion Knight and reach the elevator. And now we fight Rennala. Her first phase was not hard at all, just repetitive. but her second phase was pretty annoying with how much dodging was needed to be done. Overall, it was a very straightforward fight. Fight duration was about 26 minutes and 47 seconds. Bonk amount was 137. And with 3 deaths, the total time with attempts was about 1 hour and 2 minutes. With Rennala defeated, we get our 3rd talisman slot. Level up real quick. And make a quick stop at the Lux ruins to get a talisman. Staying behind the boss is the safest way to deal damage to it. Fight duration was about 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Amount of bonks till death was 60. I died 0 times and total time with attempts was about 4 minutes. Now we get our ritual sword talisman for later use. I also talked with Valere for a bit, but decided not to do his quest this time around. Not only that, but it was 3 AM in the morning when I got to him. Now it's onward to the capital. That means we have to take out the Draconic tree Sentinel. And this is where the struggles finally start. Draconic Tree Sentinel was an annoying piece of work. The best place to attack him was from his left side where his shield is, by baiting out a shield swipe or a stab. Other than that, the spam of his fireballs and lightning is something to look out for. And when he prepares to discharge all the lightning from his weapon, you dodge towards the lightning, then run away from the weapon blast. Fight duration was 33 minutes and 37 seconds. Amount of bonks it took was 171. I died 16 times in this fight, and the total amount of attempts was 3 hours and 33 minutes. Now that was one stressful time. Now is when the difficulty spikes up and my soul dies a little after each death. I even brought out the marshmallow on a stick to attempt to bleed him to death. But the amount of time it took to safely proc the bleed damage was long, and not worth it because I do the same amount of damage and much more with my crystal staff in the same amount of time. Not only that, but I didn't want to respect to faith. And after watching the blood remains and spirits of the Elden Ring parkour squad, we zoom right through the capital because at this point nearly every enemy with the amount of health they have can count as a mini boss. Level up our survivability, make our way up the dragon, get screeched at by the gargoyle Karen to my death, sneak behind the tree hippies, they don't know I'm gonna burn down their tree. Now it's Spirit of Godfrey time. Spirit Godfrey leaves himself pretty open to attacks, and the only thing that is pretty annoying from him is the ground spikes that can catch you off guard whenever he stomps the ground. But he was a pretty easy but kinda long fight. With Godfrey defeated, we get our last talisman slot. Fight duration was 29 minutes and 6 seconds. Amount of bonks was 148. I died 3 times due to carelessness on my part and being impatient. And total time with attempts is about 1 hour and 21 minutes. Now onward to finish off the royal capital, we face Morgott. Morgott was a pain in the ass. He's annoyingly fast in his movement. Relatively safe opportunities to attack is whenever he does his sword and spear slam attack. when he rushes you to hammer you down. When he tries to make it rain swords, the shackle stuns him in place for some free hits. And when he rushes in with the spear thrust, dodge to the top right of him so the tail can be attacked. When phase 2 starts, attack opportunities are now just his spear thrust and his double sword slam, but you need to dodge the instant you get one hit in. And after all that fighting, Morgott is finally down. Fight duration was about 1 hour, 17 minutes and 27 seconds. The amount of bonks it took to take him down was 271. It took 18 attempts before I could take him down, and total time with attempts was about 5 hours and 15 minutes. Sweet baby Jesus. Now we quickly talk to Malenia to gain access to the mountaintop of the giants. Also we level up. Now onward towards the mountain, we ignore everything. Get the Miner's Bell bearing number 3. Sneak our way behind the church further on top of the mountain so we don't get invaded by the Rivers of Blood invader. Giant hand squish, not so tiny bird. And now it's time to get the better version of the crystal staff we have. And fighting Commander Naill and his spirit goons will make me bash my head against the table, so we are taking an alternate path to the Haligtree. Please note that this was done in patch 1.04, and in patch 1.05 it's been, well, fixed. From the entrance of Castle Sol, we backtrack to near the Deathbird. Jump off the ledge here, then jump off the other ledge and land by the Statue of Marika near the destroyed Earth Tree. And presto, we are in the Consecrated Snowfield without having to fight Commander Naill. I say again, as of patch 1.05, this skip is no longer possible. But there's another jump skip that wasn't fixed that will deload the area and eliminate Commander Naill for you, as demonstrated. Go to the left side of Castle Sol until you can see the graves. Then you head left, and if you see a lot of bloodstains, you're in the right spot. Make sure you have a weapon you can swing. Then you make a long jump as far as you can possibly stretch it, and on the way down just keep on swinging your weapon. And after like a minute and a half, the area starts to deload. And voila, you beat Commander Naill by pretty much doing nothing. So great job, FromSoft. Now we enter the jail. Get bullied by some paraplegic archers. Get screwed over by the camera and fall off the ledge and get lovingly embraced by a black knife waifu. And with the last candle lit, we now have access to the Haligtree. Now we make our way down just by running through everything. Also grab the Somber 9 that is on the way down. Quickly activate the shortcut. And now we fight against Loretta. And we're doing only 45 damage a jump attack and getting her to a little less than half health. I really think we should level up for more damage. So we head back to the Consecrated Snowfield to make our way to the Bloody Teleporter, but get denied by the NPC Invader. And after dying to the Bleed Invader, we quickly make our way back and head to the corner. Wait for the invader to get over here, and then cheese the invader with this ledge. Thank God for the ledge cheese. Now here at Mogwin's Palace, we just get right into the farm, but with how weak the staff is, we just tricked enemies to roll off the cliff. Just to let you know, this was a very slow process. Good thing I had a lot of YouTube content to catch up on. And after I don't know how long, like 5 hours of farm, seriously, the things I do for the challenge run. And selling our runes to the Santa merchant, we spend our over 1 million runes into intelligence. I'm smart. We then go back to fight Loretta, and this is not right. We still only do 45 damage. Now it's time for some testing, so we get the Starscourge Talisman and hit the enemy with intelligence at 87 and no augmentation of strength, hitting at 835, and now with the increase to strength, we hit at a 39. So this entire time the game was lying to me. Even though increasing intelligence clearly has been showing that the physical attack power of the staff has been going up, the staff still does nearly no damage. The staff's actual physical damage is governed by strength, not the intelligence. This is how I feel right now. We need to respec our points, and at the Sealfur River we quickly head to the merchant, buy his larval tier, and get our intelligence points into strength. I'm pretty sure this is inefficient, but it will do for now. We also go and get the Strength Knot Crystal tier near the beginning of Stormveil Castle, do a bit more damage testing, and now instead of just doing 45 damage to Loretta, we do a whopping 112 damage, which is nearly 2.5 times the damage I was doing originally. The damage display for our weapons is a liar. How could you do this, FromSoft? Why? But right now we lose more stamina because our stats don't meet the requirements. If I had this damage, I'd be having a lot more easier time dealing with all the other bosses I fought already. And I would have gone and tried to do Commander Naill. But since we're here at the Haligtree already, we're just going to continue. Back to the fight. Loretta honestly wasn't that hard. Usually after her swing, if you wait a bit, she gets locked into her recovery animation, and this is the best time to attack. When her horse tries to stomp you, you can move a bit back and get a free jump attack. You can also dodge into her arrows for a free hit sometimes. And when she stops twirling around, you can attack her as well. With Loretta defeated, we move onwards. Fight duration was 23 minutes and 58 seconds. Amount of bonks, 121. I died 5 times in this battle, and total time with attempts was about 40 minutes. This would have been a lot longer if I didn't turn into a low intelligence caveman. But now that our last main obstacle before we can get our better staff is out of the way, we level up endurance because bonking enemies over the head takes a lot of stamina now. We make our way down, jump down the pillar, go up the stairs, and down the hall is our willing benefactor for our new staff. Takes a little bit to break its stance, but once it's broken we can easily take it out because of the stagger. Good thing the staff naturally does strike damage. And after farming for about 50 minutes, I get lucky and we get the rotten version of the crystal staff. But before we can use it, we need to upgrade it. So we make our way through Haligtown to get the Somber 8 smithing stone, but not before getting absolutely wrecked by the locals. We then go back to the elevator at the Forbidden Lands and backtrack till we get to the Erdtree sapling and get the Somber 7 smithing stone that is between the giant skull's teeth. Now we make our way through Mogwin's palace, jump the graves and skip the stairs, and sneak behind the mass meeting to get our somber ancient dragon smithing stone. With the rest of the somber stones bought from EG and the Twin Maiden husks, we upgrade our staff to +10. With it naturally doing more damage than its unrotten version, now we have our staff for the rest of the run. And even though it has rot buildup, it almost never afflicts the enemy, unfortunately. So all I really have right now is just a stronger crystallized beat stick. So now we go and activate the elevator with our falling body. Make our way down the elevator to reach the Grace. And now we face Malenia. And I'm sure you know how that turns out. And after getting my ass kicked for like an hour and a half, we just go and fight Fire Giant. Fire Giant's first phase isn't much of a problem, as he just stick to his injured leg for most of the fight. You just gotta be careful with the fire. But when phase 2 hits, the only thing you really need to worry about is the fire again that he can throw at you, or him squishing you. All you have to do is bait his melee attacks afterwards, and the battle is won. With a final bonk to the head, Fire Giant goes down. Fight duration was about 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Amount of bonks, 152. Died only 2 times. And total time with attempts was about 55 minutes. With Fire Giant gone, we quickly level up endurance. Commit a grievous sin. Get teleported to the Floaty Ruins location with all the dragons and beasts. Ignore and run through everything. Sneak past the knights that are in the area. And now it's time to mentally and physically prepare myself for the Godskin duo. So we go to the village of the Albinaurics and get the larval tier there. And this time we efficiently redistribute our attributes. We get extreme diminishing returns for our staff when we go over 55 in strength. And we also bring up our intelligence up to 48 so we can stop losing a lot of stamina when we attack. But even with the rebirth, this boss is hardcore annoying. So after a few tries, I go and get the cookbook to give me sleeping pots. And also get all the cracked pots in the game, it being a total of 20. But even with the sleeping pot's help, it only affects a Godskin for 1 minute. And after each time they get affected, their resistance to the status goes up. This boost happens a maximum of 2 times, and with the limited amount of pots, I can't keep one down permanently. And the fact that even if I eliminate one, he just respawns a few moments later. Pretty much no reward for eliminating one Godskin. And if you let the other Godskin get close to you while you're fighting one, you can get wombo comboed to death real easy. The bosses Godskin Noble and Godskin Apostle individually are a-okay in good boss fights, honestly, but just sticking two of them in a room, two bosses that appear to have been designed to be fought individually, the boss fight becomes incredibly boring and no fun. It also doesn't help that I'm just using a staff and no summons. I got them to half health, so I know it's possible to beat them, but it's a boring and long fight of just baiting one and hoping that the other one isn't close enough to hit you through the pillar with their face through wall attacks, or throw fire at you. And if you tell me that I should get good, then you're right, I should. Which is why I'm going to bonk Malenia on the head with my staff later, now that I finished my mini rant. To skip the Godskins, I'm going to be using a zip glitch to launch myself to the next area. And unfortunately, as of patch 1.05, it appears that this glitch has been fixed. But I'll still explain how to do it anyways. The glitch has to be done on a smooth frame rate of 60 frames per second, and at the beat of a metronome going at a tempo of 109. At the first beat, you click and hold the Alt key and the guard button. Then at the fifth beat, you press the forward W key, and you zip through the air. If there is nothing to stop you, or you get bounced off of a wall, you'll be sent flying to your demise. But this is how we skip the Godskin duo, with my deaths being at 22, and my total time with attempts, about 4 hours and 10 minutes. Now let's go fight a dragon. So down the elevator we go, then off the cliff, and then we lay down on the floor. And now we fight the Dragonlord. The best time to attack with my staff was in between the lightning attacks when he screams. Staying around his right side, so if he spawns a lightning spear, you can just run to his tail and start attacking after the attack is finished. And whenever he tries to shoot fire at you, you can run around if you are to his right, or walk a bit further back if you are by his tail for some free hits. With the frequency of my attacks, I was actually able to rot him as well. And the only thing you really have to look out for is when he starts shooting lasers. What I found best is getting semi-close to the fire and getting knocked down by it, or dodge the laser outright and run to his back left leg for some free attacks. Fight duration was 22 minutes and 44 seconds. The amount of bonks it took was 158. The boss got rotted once. I died a total of 3 times, and with the total time with attempts was 1 hour and 10 minutes. Honestly, Placidusax is not hard at all. Just sticking around to his backside is honestly the best way to fight him. But once again, I say stay clear from the lasers, because if you're not careful or you don't have the sufficient amount of defense, they can just one-shot you. With Placidusax eliminated, we level up our health. Ignore the Draconic tree Sentinel because been there, done that. I don't want to fight that thing again. And now it's time to face Maliketh. Maliketh's first phase is actually quite easy. Just jump to the side when he stabs at you, then quickly jump attack at him, then roll away. When he stabs the ground, you get a free hit in. And when he initiates his Beast Claw attack, you can just jump and get a free hit in. In phase 2, his overhead attack is the easiest to punish, and I would get some hits in after dodging his chain of attacks. And be careful with his Destined Death attack. When he twirls the blade around himself, dodge the initial slash, then spam dodge away to escape it. He also does it when he stands on his blade. In this one you can run a bit forward to the side, of course being careful of the vertical slashes, and time your dodge right to escape it and earn a free hit or two. And with the final dodge, we defeat Maliketh. Fight duration was about 14 minutes and 22 seconds. Amount of bonks it took to take him down was 81, and I died 7 times in this fight with a total time with attempts at 2 hours and 11 minutes. And with the Rune of Edge unbound, we set the tree completely on fire, do a quick level up, do a bit of farming to level up again, and we try Malenia again. And after some awesome fighting, I get waterfouled to death. Don't worry, Malenia, I'll be back before the final boss. So now we move onward and fight Gideon. Gideon is honestly kind of an easy fight if you have high damaging attacks. But if he's not bursted down, he's a pretty annoying boss fight with all the spells and discs that he spams.
What a sad state of affairs.
The strategy to beat Gideon, just beat the shit out of him. With Gideon down, we move on. Fight duration was about 6 minutes and 31 seconds. Amount of bonks it took to beat him was only 40. He got rotted 1 time. I died 17 times because of the spam. And the total time with attempts was 2 hours and 11 minutes. We move up to face Godfrey.
I am returned.
I was doing pretty good after 8 tries, and then patch 1.05 update came out and ruined everything. Just why FromSoft? Why? Anyway, after that attempt, I went to sleep and beat him in the next try. Godfrey's first phase is a tad bit annoying with all the stomps he likes to do. But the best time to attack for me was when he's stuck in his recovery animation after he tries to cleave me in half. And when second phase hits, the only opportunities I took to attack him was when he tries to grab me. I know there are other ways to get damage in, but better safe than sorry. With Godfrey down, we now have access to the final part of the game. Fight duration was 43 minutes and 14 seconds. Amount of bonks it took to take him down was 137. My failures was 8, plus the 1.05 update. And total time with attempts was 3 hours and 17 minutes. And now that we are at the doorstep of the final boss, let's do some cleanup. But first I need the Lance Talisman for more damage on horseback. Quickly eliminate the Erdtree avatar for his explosive crystal tier. From the Revenger's Shack we make our way to the side of the cliff of the Moonlight Altar. Damage myself till near death. And then explode at this specific spot. And we spawn up on the Moonlight Altar near the jail. So now that we're here, let's get married to someone we barely talked to, with a ring I didn't even know I had. Now we head down the elevator to try to find Astel. But unfortunately I was unable to get over the barrier. Man, I really wanted to fight them out of order. Oh well. So now we face Radahn. Radahn was actually quite easy, as I just attacked him when he finished attacking. And also kept my distance whenever he'd go crazy and starts attacking wildly. It also helps that I can rot him pretty easy with my staff, and that I'm over leveled for this fight as well. Fight duration was 14 minutes and 22 seconds. The amount of bonks it took was only 38. The times that he got rotted was 1. I died 0 times. And the total time with attempts was 14 minutes. After we get flashbanged by the falling meteor, we head down into Necron just to face the Mimic version of ourselves. Mimic Us was really easy to fight. Just spam the jump attacks and it died. Fight duration was 1 minute and 33 seconds. The amount of bonks it took was 38. Times I rotted the enemy was 1, and I died 0 times, so the total time with attempts is 1 minute and a half. With that done, from the Ashen Capital Grace we go down into the sewers and traverse the sewers with utmost haste. I also make the jump down without dying. And we sneak past the extremely horny Omen. Get assaulted by annoying imps. Then we go down the elevator, and now it's time to fight Mog. If he throws fire at you, just dodge into it and attack. He stabs the ground, you just dodge to his right side and jump attack. He does a thrust attack, then just dodge forward and jump attack. And honestly, the only difficult part of this fight is how small the arena is. Fight duration was 9 minutes and 54 seconds. The amount of bonks it took to take him down was 72. Deaths are at 0, and with that, the total time with attempts was only 10 minutes. With Mog defeated, we go down the parkour section of the game. Reach Darkroot Depths alternate entrance. Quickly speed through the area, ignoring all the enemies. Then we go inside the comfy coffin. Run and ignore everything again. Make a run through the Lake of Rot. Also, fun fact time, if you get rotted from rolling inside of the infested water, it does way less damage than if you just get the rot from being in the lake. So we get to the other side using way less Crimson Flasks. Now we go inside the nice comfy rock coffin. And now we fight Astel. Playing around the back legs was the strategy I used for safety, and if he would overextend, then I'd hit him in the face with a jump attack. And Astel is finished. The fight duration was 14 minutes and 9 seconds. The amount of bonks it took to take it down was 54. My deaths are at 0, so the total time with attempts was 14 minutes. With Astel defeated, we level up a bit, and now we face the big bitch herself, Malenia. And after getting some defensive items like the Dragon Crest Great Shield, and some boiled crabs from our bro Blackguard, we now come face to face with Malenia again. Malenia is fast, and depending on what move she does, she gets hyper armor. So we can't attack all willy-nilly. So the advantages I took is when she does her thrust, I can respond with my attack. When she does her multi-slice attack, she either continues attacking afterwards or stops with a bit of a delayed swing. This is indicated by the length of the ping sound and animation. If it's the delayed version, then I do a jump attack. When she does her own jump attack, I let her finish, then I do my own jump attack. And when she dodges to the left, you can bait her to attack, and if you're far away enough, she enters her recovery animation from the swing she made and gives enough time to attack. When her health reaches the point when she starts doing waterfall dance, I stop punishing the thrust attack as she can sometimes automatically go into the air and delete me. But if I successfully dodge that bullshit attack, then I can punish her directly after. When phase 2 hits, then I am reduced to responding to even fewer attacks, because I don't want to take the risk of getting hit and losing progress because of her lifesteal. When she does her phantom attack, I run as far away as possible as it has a reach limit. And after so many tries, I beat Malenia by just bonking her over the head with my staff. Fight duration was 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 47 seconds of pure hell. Amount of bonks it took was 203. Waterfowl dance amount, 37. Phantom spirit attack, 23. Amount of deaths is 27, plus 1 server disconnect. Total time with attempts is 6 hours and 23 minutes. Fucking thank you, FromSoft. Has this happened to anyone else after the 1.05 update? Now let's quickly get the Haligtree Talisman +2 for bonus holy defense, and the Pearl Drake Talisman for even more defense. Now let's go finish the game. Radagon is annoying to fight just because of the delay in some of his attacks. And the swift speed that other attacks come out with barely giving a reaction time to dodge. But once you get his moves down, you feel like a badass just dodging everything. Shame that my crystallized rotten bonk stick is on the lower end of the damage spectrum. I hit him over the head every time he gives me a small opportunity to attack, like when he does his AoE hammer slams or swipe. I was able to rot him one time because of the constant pressure I was throwing out. And his Grand Slam attack gives a good opportunity for damage. You just need to time the dodge roll perfectly at the end. With Radagon down, we now face the true final boss. Elden Beast is easy when it only spams melee attacks. But incredibly annoying when it runs and uses attacks that can catch you off guard. And when he does close range AoE attacks, I found it best to just run away, or if you get hit, then start panic rolling around. Once Elden Beast reaches a certain health and starts throwing out Elden stars, I would run and hope for the best, as I have never been good at dodging it very well. And with that, the Elden Beast has been slain, and it looks like I fell in a can of golden paint. Fight duration was 22 minutes and 20 seconds. Amount of bonks, 56 for Radagon, 118 for Elden Beast. I was able to rot Radagon one time. I suffered 21 deaths, and the total time with attempts being 3 hours and 57 minutes. It's done. The final boss is defeated. Now let's just end the game. And the game crashed. Well, that's odd. Oh well, it shouldn't happen a second time, right? And the game crashed again. Well then, because of this, we end the game with Ranni instead. The lady that gave me a bell, and the next time we met, I gave her an engagement ring. Nice to see that I speedran that relationship, even though I'm pretty sure she's the reason why we're crashing. Anyways, the game has been beaten by bonking our enemies with a staff. Now for some afterthoughts. This run took 10 days to complete, with me being on and off of Elden Ring, and editing this video was delayed by like a week and a half because of procrastination, IRL stuff, and V-Rising. I really like playing that game with my friends. But back to Elden Ring. I didn't like that the physical attack displayed on the weapon went up with intelligence. That's why the first half of the game kinda burned me out and it took much longer to finish. But when we focused on strength and the damage actually went up, that gave me the second wind I needed. I also didn't want to use the spinning weapon Ash of War because I already knew that it was gonna make this challenge run pretty easy. For this run, I turned into a real masochist. In another note, Morgott and the Draconic Tree Sentinel gave me the most trouble. And in the later half, it was Gideon, Godfrey, Malenia, Radagon, Elden Beast, and the From Software servers that gave me trouble. And also the Godskin duos, but we don't talk about them. Now that this run is done, I'm going to do a fun challenge run next. Oh, and please send suggestions for future challenge runs. I am very grateful for the feedback and suggestions you people are giving. Anyway, this has been Worn Out Gamer 4, and thank you for watching and commenting on my video. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and click on the bell notification for alerts when I post a new video. And thank you for watching my previous videos as well. Later.